and we got Messy Blogs moment. And baby, we got a full lineup in the fact. I said, so let's get down to what we got to get into. First up, like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. Come on through and let's have some fun. Let's get into the first thing we got up, and that would be, hold up, go up. There we, oh yes, it's Mr. Smokey Robinson himself. So apparently, this lawsuit still is going on. It has been a little quiet on the scene real quick, but apparently the judge that made a ruling that that because his age, they expanded it because of his age, exception of his age and stuff, that the victim does not have to reveal themselves at all. I said, "Ooh, yes." Despite him being old, he ain't got it. Despite him being a singer and everything, that ain't gonna help him in this case. Meaning, it's a John Doe who filed this, essay lawsuit against him, and it's gonna stick. It's the procedure still gonna go through and everything. So that's what's going on right now with him. Good luck, Smokey, being a little too frisky allegedly with your help, and it didn't caught up with you, and your wife apparently acting like she didn't know what was going on allegedly, and letting it go on, so she had to get touched. Allegedly. Or whatever. I don't know. It's just what's going on there. So he still got this case going on. So we'll see how this is gonna add up. I said it must be getting a little bit hectic, and it's about to heat up. But that's what's going on there. Let me know how y'all feel about it. But let's get into the next thing that we got up. And that is the family of Malcolm-Jamal Waters. So they came out to say that they're starting a foundation in his honor. And congratulations to them, since his passing and stuff. It's still hard to believe that he is gone, and this is a wonderful thing that his family is doing in his honor. Um, I hope it succeed. I wasn't sure what the foundation was, the overall goal of the foundation is. Excuse me, it didn't say, but this is what the family ended up posting and telling us what's going on. So good luck to them. Let's move on to the next. Let's get into. Okay, so we had some issues going on. It was Fashion Week in New York, y'all. So we got Draya Mitchell and her man Jamal or Jamel, Jaheem, Jalen. Is it Jalen? Jalen. Yeah, Jalen. I said her man Jalen. So they ended up the whole entire thing. So they Fashion Week. They outside of some expensive place got into a heated argument. As they walked down the block, you know, a little disagreement happened where you can hear him say out turn. He was walking away and he turned around. He said he will hit her back because she was about to do him. You know, the people they were with stopping her and stuff like that. And then it showed them. There was another clip that was posted of them later on that night, all booed up. I said, well, it's what it is. It's what it is. I don't know what's going on there, because it showed them earlier that night at some event, hugged up, booed up, partying, dancing, feeling the music and stuff like that. And then you see this after a event during Fashion Week, and then you see another thing where they all booed up again. So it's what it is. But then Drea is messy as hell to let us know. She showed them what is it? Jet 2 holiday. She did that to her on her social medias about this situation. I said she's a messy heifer. Just messy girl. You know. But let's move on past deal. Let's get into, so we got media personality Big Banks. So this man ended up interviewing Young Thug. And so, Young Thug was talking his ish, but this man ended up doing his little live and saying that if y'all have any jailhouse recordings of me, I pay you for it. I said, first of all, I'm still trying to figure out who are you? Who are you? Because I don't know who you are. Never heard of you. Sync that clip where you sat down with Young Thug and Young Thug was telling how he felt about other people, and that was it. And if you talking ish on jail calls and you know they being recorded, then stay 100 about it. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna pay you for it if you got the recordings of me in jail, and me talking ish. I said, then be 100. You said what you said on that phone call. That's how you felt. Keep it real. Don't be trying to pay somebody for the recording now. If it get leaked, before it get leaked, I said that like you was man enough to say it. Stick behind it. That's just how I feel about it. But let me know how y'all feel. Let's move on to the next. Let's get into NFL player Justin Jefferson. So he actually came out and allegedly pledged that he was going to pay Charles Kirk children living and education expenses. Um, Good for him. Uh, that's all I gotta say. I have nothing. I said, at the end of the day, them kids. Apparently, the kids was you know, at the event that happened to their father, which they shouldn't have been. But congratulations to him if he's allegedly doing this for the kids, paying for their live. I said, you don't need to pay for their living expenses. They got a mama. She right there. She good. I said, but if you doing that out of kindness of your heart, good for you. Their education expense, okay. Good for you too. That's all I gotta say. I wasn't gonna say that, but I was just brain started to go in there. I'm like, it's just a lot of questions. It's just a lot of questions because I'm gonna move on. Let's move on to the next. Let's get into Clarisha and Pampu. So they ended up on Tamron Hall show, and I'm like, okay, okay. So they talked about when they first met, how they first met. They were sending each other poetry back and forth. She said she after 2 weeks. Clarisha said after 2 weeks of texting, she found out that this was the man for her. This was the one. I said, okay, girl. This was the one. After 2 weeks of texting back and forth and then sending each other poetry. I said, all righty. Okay, that's giving puppy love. The first time you met somebody, they're giving high school, middle school type of crush, type of situation. But good for y'all. Good for y'all. I have no problem with it. I said, girl, but now you still need to figure out you need to make sure he get that divorce before you try anything with him because you already said you already planning to have a baby by next year. So by this man, which it's not a good thing, girl, if he's still married. I don't care if a person separated, they still married. When them papers are signed, sealed, and delivered, then we can talk. But that's just how I feel about it. Let me know how y'all feel. Let's move into the next. Last thing we got up, baby, and that is a story out of Dallas. So this Dallas man is accused of beheading the motel manager because the motel manager told him do not use the broken washing machine. And this man, they got footage of this crazy man going into the washing machine area where the man was with a machete and attacking the manager, shanking him a couple of times and then taking that final hit. I said, baby, what is wrong with these people? Now this man is facing capital murder. meaning the death penalty, baby. He's in Texas, so it's a done deal. So that's what's going on in that situation. I said, all because the manager said, do not use the broken washing machine, and you snapped. These people out here are losing their mind. Losing them. Man, that is crazy. And they got the footage of you doing it. You done. But that's all that I got for y'all. Let me know how y'all feel about it. All the topics that I talked about today, we went over Smokey and his situation. We went over Michael, not Michael, Malcolm Jamal Waters. He has his family made him a foundation. We also covered Drea and her man doing a little Scrabble during Fashion Week. We add NFL player Justin Jefferson. He ended up, allegedly wants to take care of Charles Kirk's children, their education and living expenses. Pampers and Clarisha, on Tamara Hall, telling them how they fell in love, how they had a first dated and what's going on with their situation. And media personality, Big Banks, saying he wants his jailhouse recordings if y'all got them. He'll pay y'all. But that's all that I went through today. But like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. And I will get back at y'all later. It's your boy, Paul. Thank y'all for tuning in. Have a good one, y'all.